40 years old seems like a good age to have a midlife crisis and to go buy a car. And rather than buy some dorky Corvette that makes me really look like I'm having a midlife crisis, might as well have the fastest production car in history, a Tesla Roadster. All right, guys, it is happening. No, this is not clickbait. I am sending money to Elon Musk and to Tesla. It's happening. This is Wells Fargo Bank. Apparently this is where Tesla banks. You have to send a wire today. I am putting my money down for the Roadster. If you haven't watched it a couple days ago, remember my video with the Roadster where I rode in that super fast car?
3, 2, 1.
Oh! Whoa! Whoa! At the end of the video, I was like, is it worth it? That's debatable. Well, I've thought about it through the weekend. I got the email from Tesla and I can make my reservation solidified today. And so I decided to come here to the store. I'm gonna go in, make the wire transfer, and I'm gonna explain all the specifics around how much the Tesla Roadster costs, what you have to do to get in line for it, how much did it cost me to take a test drive to get you that footage on the YouTube video, because it wasn't cheap and it wasn't free. But first, let me go give the money to Elon Musk before the cutoff. All right, I'm at the bank, I'm doing it. I'm actually wiring the money right now. I'm not allowed to film at the bank, so I'm not gonna film the whole transaction, but it is happening. All right, I just did it. We're getting the final paperwork and we're out of here. All right, this is my receipt. We did it. We did it. We got the deposit. It is in. That is a lot of money, and now I have how many years? 2 years, maybe 3, depending on if there's any delays, to actually earn somehow the rest of the $150,000 to maybe $200,000 to get the actual car. This is just the deposit, and it's sitting there. And yes, if you're asking, Leslie did sign off on it. We'll see how this works out. All right, I'm at the Tesla supercharging station and the store, whatever one you call it. You can't legally sell Teslas in the state of Utah, so they have kind of this weird setup at the store, but it's like a service center. No, it's not even a service center. It's like a nice little place you hang out. They've got couches and waters and bathrooms and stuff, so when you charge, you can relax. Well, let's talk a little bit about the event and how it went down. So you guys saw the craziness that was me riding the Tesla Roadster, which was insane. Oh! I felt like I was just like a ball of jello.
Hey Mikey, I think he likes it.
That's pretty much what I felt like. This is how I even got the chance to ride in that. After the event, you go to the after party, and at the after party, they had 6 or 7 computers that were lined up with employees at each one of those. If you talk to those guys, they tell you about the Roadster, they tell you how you can buy one. And so what you had to do that night is if you wanted to go on a ride in the Roadster, which there weren't that many people that went on rides, I would say maybe 40 people while I was there, you had to pay a $5,000 deposit. They said was non-refundable. Is it worth it, $5,000 for one ride that lasts 2 minutes? And I just sat there and hovered my finger over the purchase button. And finally I decided, for some strange reason, I decided it's worth it, and I paid the money. Mostly, honestly, it was because I figured you guys would like to see it in the video, and if I came to the event and had the chance to go on a ride and I didn't do it, it's kind of a missed opportunity. I thought maybe you guys would like it. So here's the second portion of it. After you pay that $5,000, you have 2 options to purchase the vehicle. The first option is you can get the Founder Series. Now the Tesla Roadster Founder Series, they're only making 1,000 of those. Those are $250,000. And what you had to do is that night you would pay $5,000, you would get your ride. And then what you would do is within 10 days, you had to make a wire transfer at Wells Fargo to Tesla for the remaining $245,000.
$245,000.
And then remember, you don't see the car until at least 2020. That's 250 grand that's just gone. You're making no interest on it, nothing. And I guarantee people did it. There's people that wanted to do that. That was definitely something I did not have the money for. Option number 2 is within 10 days, you can wire the additional $45,000, which I just did at the Wells Fargo Bank, so I'm in the queue. Now I'm in line for the full production series of the Roadster. They'll first release the 1,000 Founder Series Tesla Roadsters, and then you're in line to purchase yours. They say the price of the full production is $200,000. That's the base model. It still goes fast, it still has a lot of options, but obviously and clearly there's going to be some different things that you can do to upgrade it at that point that will take it probably up to closer to the $250,000. Elon has talked about a little bit on those those options on Twitter. Now, why did I pay $50,000? That was a ton of money for me. It said that between the time that you send the wire and between the time that you actually make the purchase order, you can get a full refund on your actual down payment basically on the car. So I was thinking about it, I'm like, okay, if I can get a full refund, I could possibly get back my $5,000 that at the event they said was non-refundable. So I paid $45,000 to potentially get my $5,000 back. But in reality, I do not want to cancel my reservation. I want to keep the Roadster. It's 2020. I will be turning 40 years old in 2020. And so the way I look at it is, 40 years old seems like a good age to have a midlife crisis and to go buy a car. So I don't know how I'm gonna pay for the full $250,000. I don't have that money. I know a lot of you guys are always like, you're so rich. And yes, Leslie and I had very good jobs before YouTube, and that has provided us with a lot of opportunities. And yes, we've made some money on the YouTube side of it, but we don't just have $250,000 sitting around. Can you imagine the vlogs of giving people test rides in the Tesla? Like, you saw my reaction. I would love to like go to driver's school before I get the car and learn how to drive a high performance vehicle. Maybe go do some drag racing at like the drag racing strip place and race some people. I'd probably crash the thing, and so maybe I shouldn't do that, but I would like to try it. During my video, I talked about Ben and how Ben earned his own for free. I think Ben has 55 or 60 referrals since September, and that qualified him to get 102% off of the cost of the Roadster, and it's the Founders Edition that he gets. If you guys know somebody that's going to be buying a Tesla between now and the end of the year, there's a code, I'm flashing it up on the screen right now, there's a link in the description. If they use that code, which is my code specific to me, then they will get free supercharging for the life of having their Tesla. I really don't know that I believe that enough that I could get 50 people to actually buy a Tesla. They're super expensive cars. So if you know friends and family and neighbors, show them our videos. If they find value in our Tesla videos, and if it motivates them to get a Tesla, great, have them use my code. So between now and 2020, I need to find a way to earn enough money so that I can pay for the Roadster. I'm hoping not to cancel this thing and take the $50,000 back, but if I have to, I will between now and then. Time to hustle it out. Time to go in my Model X, and I'll be honest, when I launch with this thing now, this is only a 100D, it's not a P100D, but when I push the acceleration, I used to think it was super fast. After that Roadster, it makes me feel like more like this is more like that Honda Civic that's just driving in front of me. Not the greatest acceleration, see? Yeah, that was great. That was fast and all, but better than most gas cars, but nothing compared to the Roadsters. I hope this is helpful to you guys. Thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Should I get the refund on the money? Is it a waste of money to go and put that much into a Roadster? Or should I keep it and get the Roadster? Let me know your thoughts. Time for me to drive. I felt like I was just like a ball of Jello. One.